Hi, any interest in joining our music group?
Whenever you're ready, dude. Oh, not a dude.
We sing songs without any instruments. It's all from our mouths.
Yikes. Sorry, I don't even sing.
What's your name?
Fat Amy.
You call yourself Fat Amy?
Yeah, so tweak bitches like you don't do it behind my back.
Oh my god!
You can sing. You have to join the Bellas. I can't concentrate until you cover your junk. I'm not leaving here until you sing. Bulletproof, far away, far away.
You have a lovely voice.
Thanks.
Pitch, please. Y'all made me go see a fucking movie about a cappella singers? Come on.
That's part of the job, brother.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
It ain't gonna all be the master and
I was in that other Oscar film that we haven't seen yet.
it's not all Paul Anderson movies.
Oh.
It's not all Oogie Loves, all right?
Well, nothing is Oogie Loves. But I was sitting in the theater in the middle of the day with like 4 other people. Somebody brought in like their own barbecue sandwich, so the whole theater smells like pulled pork. And I'm like, fucking this movie. Bring it on. Except, don't, because that's about cheerleading. But I was like, yeah, let's do this. And then that's another podcast. But I was like, just start the fucking movie.
Well, it's funny how they actually started the movie at my theater when I went to go see it at night. But I was like, I had no idea. Once again, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in another goddamn movie, and he's playing Bruce Willis. And before I knew it, I was like, wait a minute, this is Looper. This is
Did
not
you go
Pitch
to the wrong
Perfect.
movie?
No, the theater I was at played the wrong movie.
Oh, jeez.
So me and the entire theater, we were like, wait a second, what the hell?
It's so weird that would happen.
There's no singing and dancing in this.
When they hire 16-year-olds to run their projection booths. It's crazy that shit would happen.
Yeah, and it was strange knowing that there was a mass exodus of people demanding that Pitch Perfect play instead of Looper. I'm like, what kind of bizarre world is this?
We've reached the end time, ladies and gentlemen.
But surprisingly, hey, it was a good movie.
I hate to admit that. I hate to admit that I like this movie.
Why you gotta hate it,
Why
right?
would you hate that?
Because it's okay. Did I not? Okay, let me explain to you what this movie is about. This is essentially like if Mean Girls and Bring It On went to college together and had that awkward moment where they made out with one another while watching Glee. That's Pitch Perfect.
Oh, okay.
It is this weird movie about an a cappella competition, and that's pretty much it. That's the whole basis of the plot. Is it's an a cappella competition.
Well, I mean, that's what it's about, globally. But you can't just have it be about that. It's got to be. You got to bring the girls in, the teenage girls who want to see this, or
Right.
preteen. So it's about Andrew Kendrick, she's a feisty.
I'm sorry, did you say Andrew Kendrick?
I think I said Anna.
Okay, I was just like, wait. You mentioned bringing in the young girls, and then you said Andrew Kendrick.
No,
and I was like,
no.
Did I miss that? Was I the
Anna
wrong one?
Kendrick.
I think you did say that.
I don't think
Just
I
a
said
little
that.
bit.
I don't think I said
Just a
that. I
little
don't think I said that. Anna Kendrick as the bad girl. She's tough and she's too cool for school. Almost too cool for like to not be on my fucking nerves. I'm like, all right, these characters who come in like, you're really into something? What? Wow, you're a real weirdo. But whatever. She's got her own reasons where she's walking around snubbing everything. But her dad is he's a bigwig at the school. He's like, hey man, I got you a free college education. Come take some classes. Whatever, Dad.
Yeah, get outta here.
I want to go to L.A. and be a DJ.
You're embarrassing me again, Dad.
He's like, that's not really a job.
And she sums up that whole exposition in one sentence, like when she's standing in the room, like, I don't want to even be here. I want to go to LA and be a DJ. And he's like, being a DJ is not a real career. Like, seriously, it is like Speed Racer type exposition between the two of them.
I'm just surprised that people still go to school to try to get a job being Wolfman Jack. DJing? Really? You go to school for DJing? Does that require schooling?
Well, and his whole thing is, okay, Pumpkin, I tell you what. You come here, you put in a year, like you be a real college student. I ain't talking about some Van Wilder shit. You actually get involved, and then I'll pay for you to go to L.A. How about that? Whatever. All right, fine. I guess I'll join something that's not lame. Ooh, a a cappella group. I was like, how do you go from not wanting to do anything to picking the lamest thing you possibly could with people who are genuine goofballs trying to get you to try out for these things?
Yeah.
And you have your a cappella gangs, the Bellas. What were their names? Oh, the name is college.
The Barton Bellas.
The Barton Bellas.
Why do I remember that?
But the evil, well, you know, as evil as you can get, a cappella group of boys is called the Troublemakers.
The evil forces of the Troublemakers.
which is led by what I can see is pretty much a teenage Jack Black.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who that actor is, but I'm like, wow.
Who plays the biggest asshole in the movie. And you know what? I thought I met every goddamn asshole in the world, but this guy takes it to a whole nother level where he spontaneously like starts singing a cappella songs like in the middle of the college campus to be a dick to people.
Yeah.
Where him and his gang bust out in songs, and I'm like, okay, they're now two like terrible groups of spontaneity. That's spontaneous combustion and spontaneous a cappella singing.
Well, it's just weird because it's not like he's good looking. He's short and he's fat, and when he's not singing, he's a total dud with women. I don't know. It's like he's a bully, but not really always. It doesn't make. I mean, look, it's a world of a cappella, so none of it really has to make sense.
He's a failure of a bully.
Yes.
That's kind of what.
If you thought the Sharks and the Jets were the lamest fucking gangs you would ever see in a movie,
hold on.
Just wait till you see the Troublemakers bust up there with their matching blazers and be like, whatever, we're the fucking Troublemakers. I'm like, I'm giving you all wedgies through the screen right now.
But Brian, you're so right how much it's very Bring It On, where so the Barton Bellas, they thought they were going to win the competition last year, but they didn't because the second lead girl just vomited all over the stage.
Yeah.
And what was a hilarious scene to me, because personally, I hate fart jokes, don't like them at all.
Screw you.
But vomit jokes, I love those.
Yeah. Another look into the world of Leon.
They crack me up every time.
I don't know what that says about Leon exactly.
Well, you look at me like, man, are you serious? How many fart jokes have you fucking seen on the screen and you're still laughing at this shit? And when it comes to vomiting, that
you know, want me to tell you why? Because
tell me why.
Oh, don't you do that. Because a fart joke takes nothing. Anybody can just go there you go. That's a fart joke.
It takes a special
but
something, all right?
A good vomit joke, that takes some work, and I appreciate what goes into that.
Well,
it's not something you see every day.
It was some impressive projectile vomiting.
It was impressive.
That shit went on like Linda Blair. That was pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah, Linda Blair to the extreme.
Yeah, and another thing that made it like Bring It On is like this group of a cappella singers has their own language.
Yes.
They are constantly changing up words to put the word a cappella in it.
Excuse me?
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I expected them at one point to go like, this is not an ocracy. This is an aquitatorship. And it's like, what?
And I don't know if that was meant to be funny, because I kept getting this feeling like, I think they're trying to start a new catchphrase, and I'm not buying into it.
It was a little too desperate, Where I was praying to God that none of us would actually start the review with none of that shit. Because I tell you what, I could cut you.
Because that would strike a bad chord. So.
Wow.
Oh, you're welcome. Let that one sink in for a minute, because there's going to be a lot more of
No,
those.
that's all that's for all the Grants and the Cyruses of the world.
But yeah, there you go. But yeah, I mean, it is one of those movies where I was hesitant about it, and just looking at the trailer, I mean, after watching the movie, I was like, wow, the trailer really kind of misinforms you what the movie is as far as where it's going to go with the comedy, because I thought it was going to be just another kind of safe romp into, you know, like Bring It On type of thing, but, you know, on the safer side. But yet the scene that caught me by surprise is when one of the girls comes in, like after they had that, you know, that disaster of an a cappella performance where the girl, you know, projectile vomits all over the place. And so they're desperately trying to hone in like new a cappella singers. You know, one of the girls comes up and, you know, they're asking her, hey, did you want to like try out for a cappella? And she's like, no, don't you guys remember me? I'm the girl who you said had baloney tits. And like you see through her shirt, like her actual baloney tits. And I was like, oh, it's that kind of movie. And it just took me by surprise to where I was like, oh, okay. I'm not here. I don't know what they're going to throw at me, but I love that scene. So and it prepared me for the rest of the movie.
For Leon, it's vomit jokes, and for co-host, it's baloney tits. So much insight into this Bill crew in this movie, it's ridiculous.
I was like, I think I'm going to like this.
Now, I think for me, before seeing this movie, some people had seen it and said like, hey, man, it's really good. Yeah, we loved it. So I probably went expecting something I expected it not to be terrible. Also, the fact that it starred Anna Kendrick was something that made me go like, hey, I think this might have something to it. And I will say that for me, Bring It On was a surprise. That was a movie I went into going like, here we go. I was like, wow, I really liked that a lot.
No one was prepared for that. I don't think.
Exactly. So with this, I wasn't surprised so much that it was as good. As a matter of fact, I was almost let down a little bit because people had my expectations higher than they should have been. However, it is a crowd-pleasing movie. It really hits like the demographic they're going for. It gives them everything they want. Yeah. And if somehow you got dragged into it under protest, you come out going like, you know what? That was all right. That wasn't painful.
That's pretty much the exact reaction I had. And it's funny because the reason I mentioned Mean Girls specifically is I will admit I thought this movie was a lot smarter than I ever thought it would have been.
Right.
And in fact, I think of a lot of the stuff that's idiotic about it is on purpose. Like the fact that you live in this alternate universe where the biggest gangs on campus are the a cappella teams.
Right.
Like, obviously, that's not meant to be taken seriously. Like, there's no way. And there's a lot of stuff like that throughout the movie where it's like you have these moments that are standard, that are part of the canon of this type of movie, and then they fuck with you on it. Like, they'll turn it on its ear, they'll do something different with it, and they'll go like be vulgar with it. And I really think most of the stuff that doesn't work about it or is them trying to do that and it just like missing the mark by a little bit. But then there are those moments when it really does hit well.
It's something that the Step Up movies should be doing.
Right.
Kind of just introducing you into the ridiculous, like a subtle introduction into the world of a cappella ridiculousness.
And especially since there's a step-up scene in Pitch Perfect where they like do the, what do they call it? The
flash mob?
What do they call it? Like the riff-off.
The riff-off.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, I saw this, and Channing Tatum was involved. And suddenly they're singing. And I love, another thing that was like, okay, this is ridiculous, is that when Anna Kendrick starts doing Blackstreet from the late 90s, everyone else is like, what? What is this? I've never heard this music. Like, really? You motherfuckers have never heard Blackstreet?
I was born in 1990. I'm sorry.
You work it.
I know. This is one of those movies that kind of made me feel old, where I was like, I need to watch it again, just so like a vampire trying to reassert myself into the actual world of these kids again, so I don't feel so fucking old.
You know what? It made me not feel old because when they were doing new songs, I was like, hey, I actually know these.
I was right there with you until the last scene. The last scene, I was like, okay, I listened to the radio. I have no idea what. Oh, good, the song of the Breakfast Club. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Which is introduced by the new Paul Rudd.
Right.
Of actors, like the love interest. Where this love interest, like there was one kind of problem that I had, especially with Anna Kendrick's character, where I thought, okay, now they're pushing her to the point where she's so annoying. I'm afraid I'm just not going to like her throughout the rest of the movie because she treats this guy who's like trying to be a genuine friend to her like complete and utter shit.
She does. She's got her head so far up her own ass that she can't even be a decent human being to him. But it's weird. Like the little things that I didn't like about the movie was like that love interest, the way that was just kind of thrown together, where out of nowhere, without any history, he just comes up and just starts hitting on her and won't leave her alone. And I'm like, all right, it'd be different if you saw her before and then it's kind of developed. But just right off the bat, hey, we work together, so I'm going to sexually harass you throughout our entire work history.
Do my eyes deceive me? Are you a Bart and Bella?
No.
You're one of those a cappella girls. I'm one of those a cappella boys, and we're going to have a children. It's inevitable.
You're really drunk right now. I don't think
No.
you're gonna remember any of this.
I'm not drunk at all. You're just blurry.
You okay? Yeah. You almost fell over?
Yeah.
Can
Then
you
I
pass a sobriety test right now?
Yep.
Can you stand up straight?
See how I come right
See?
back? And I come right back.
Wow.
Can I get you a drink?
Sounds great.
I'm going to get you a drink.
Go for it.
I think you need to get on this level.
And that's just other places where they went for jokes that were just kind of random. It's like there was no real build up to it. One thing that did consistently work was now who's the girl who played Fat Amy?
Rebel Wilson.
Rebel Wilson. She's somebody who I see in other movies and I kind of get annoyed with. Like,
I hate her in other movies.
Yeah, me too. She pops up when she popped up in this, I was like, oh shit, she's in this. Yeah. But she happened to be maybe the saving grace that, like, whenever they were failing at something, it's like, get her in there. And she had a way of knowing the right thing to say or telling a joke just right.
I usually put her in that category of actors or actresses that try to, bring to the screen what Chris, like every role that was written for Chris Farley before he died. It's like you have a string of actors now that are trying to be that. And she's like the female version.
Yeah.
So every time I see her, I am just completely annoyed because I know, oh, here she goes with her fat jokes again. But I was really shocked at how well written they actually made her in the movie.
Yeah.
Where you actually liked her. She was the one who was kind of bringing the group together in a way.
Right.
And her jokes were hitting the marks every moment.
Well, and the thing is, like, you mentioned Chris Farley. It's like, yeah, she does the fat jokes, but the difference is that Chris Farley was always kind of lovable. And my problem with this actress is that she is aggressively unpleasant.
Cunty.
Yes, cunty.
on the eyes,
in most movies. And in this one, it's like she was still kind of like dopey and out of touch, but there was something likable about
Yeah.
her.
There really
And
was.
it was like, finally, thank you.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, stop. I don't know whose dick she's sucking, but stop. I mean, there's no need for her to be in movies anymore. I don't know anyone who's clamoring to go see her movies. But like I said, it is another aspect that just completely caught me off guard. While watching it. But it was such a fun movie where I found myself being like actually involved in this whole stupid story of them trying to make it to the finals. Even to where I like how the movie, you see this growing process where I think with Anna Kendrick's character, to where I was annoyed with her, but there is a growth with her within the movie. So by the end of the movie, I didn't completely hate her, even though there was one moment where, she's getting into it with her friends, and then that guy shows up out of nowhere. He's like, hey, look. And she's like, you again. Why is it every time I get into a fucking situation, I turn around and I see your face? Stop stalking me, all right? And
you sit there going like, wow, fuck.
Yeah,
You just got pitch slapped.
Yeah, and that hit home for me because I don't know how many times that's happened to me. I'm like, look,
I was just trying to be a friend.
I'm just trying to be cool. No need to call the cops.
Yeah.
Honestly, and it's it's going to come down to a competition between the main two, and it pulled one of these things that I remember. I was like, wow, this is just like Joyful Noise again, where the bad team, or the ones you're not pulling for, actually pull out a kick-ass performance at the end. So then when your guys go up, you're like, well, what are they going to do?
Which one's going to save the rec center?
Yes. And what do? They go on way past what I'm sure their time limit was.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, wait, I'm sure like the other guys got to do a medley of 2 songs. You guys just put 8 songs together. That's bullshit.
They're doing an entire, now that's what I call music, in one performance.
It's one of those like, guys, we're just going to keep singing until they give us the trophy.
I know, it started to remind me of one of those Oscar numbers that just doesn't fucking
But you can't
end.
play them off because they're already singing.
It's a musical filibuster. Like, all right, fine, here, you won. Take it, damn. I want to see my kids sometime today.
One thing I did think really worked about this movie, and at first I didn't know what to think of it, but by the end I was loving it, was the Asian girl that talked really softly. And then when you finally hear what she's saying, she was saying things like, I ate my twin in the womb. And it's like, what? What?
Yeah, I don't know why that chick, because they had extreme close-ups.
That's what made that work, is they would do those extreme close-ups on
and you see
it.
the little lips, and all I could think about was that worm in Dune, to where I'm like, is she gonna transport these kids to the goddamn competition? Because I'm just looking at that little mouth of hers. It looked
They're
like
not trying to find harmony, they're trying to find Harkonnen.
Yeah, Harkonnen. Yeah, she's gonna find him she's gonna take him where the spice is, but just her little mouth, where I'm like, ooh, that almost looks like a little anus. Like,
Does that make them
blinking at me?
Does that make them the Spice Girls?
Yes,
Officially?
yes, it does.
Awesome.
Long live the fighters!
Yeah, but you know what else really worked for me was the announcer relationship between Elizabeth Banks and John Michael Higgins, I think is the other guy.
Yeah.
Which Elizabeth Banks was a producer on this.
Oh, what?
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. You know what? She needs to be in more comedies.
Yes.
Every time I see her, I fall in love with her when she's just being a goofball.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, she needs to do more of that. I don't know why people aren't like getting her in more comedies, but she really needs to be. Because she was awesome in this movie.
Well, it's funny because they keep cutting to them as the commentators, and they get to have personality and do their own thing. It's that kind of joke that could easily get old.
Yeah.
And somehow it didn't.
Yeah,
they kept finding good stuff for them to do.
You don't want them to become the commentators from fucking episode 1, the two-headed fucking morons.
No, they were more like the commentators from Best in Show, which is why it really worked.
Yeah. So I don't know. How do you guys feel? What would you give it?
Well, I'm going to admit something about myself that I'm not totally comfortable with, but I like a cappella music. I'm a bit of what you might call an acapella, and this movie for me right from the first frame, and we should see how much Leon is
Give me
shaking
the
his head
Aqua
right
fuck
now.
out of here already, all right?
Right from the first frame, when they're actually harmonizing the Universal music as the logo comes up, I
was
like,
actually cool.
I was like, all right. And then by the time you got to the end and seeing all these performances, and especially the stuff during the riff off, I was like, okay. I can at least appreciate. It's like when you watch a Step Up movie, like I don't really care about the story. The dancing is really cool, and in this movie for me, it was like, okay, the singing is really, really impressive here. And then honestly, I think there is a satirical angle going on that's smarter than just your basic teen comedy situation. So honestly, I'd give it a matinee. That's when I saw it. That's when I think it works best.
I'm kind of right there with you. Not with my love of acapella so much. I mean, I do like acapella, and at the same time, I'm kind of like, I'm enjoying this on some level, and then on another level, there's only so much listening to these kids pretty much rehash songs from my childhood that I'm going to be on board for. After a while, I'm kind of like, all right, you guys, knock it off. Let's spread your creative endeavors somewhere else. Dig your own graves. Leave my shit alone. But
Where's your fucking music at?
Yeah, exactly.
Stop using mine.
Yeah, because yours is no good. You got to use mine. That's what it is. But it's a much more enjoyable movie than you expect it's going to be, unless we just told you it is, and then you might go like, it's all right. I think it's a good crowd pleasing movie. I'm right there at a matinee. I'm almost a low matinee, but I'll go ahead and say a matinee.
Oh, you know what? I like I said, I was really just taken by surprise by how smart and witty a lot of the comedy was. And I enjoyed the performances. I like movies like this where you get a sense of every character in the movie. Like every girl in this movie had a moment to shine. You got a sense of their characters, and nobody was really left behind. And how they managed to juggle that along with bringing in, the Save the Rec Center type deal, like the movies I love. I just got a kick out of it, and I was in for the entire ride. And I have to admit, there was some moments in here where some of the acapella stuff, there's like a montage where they're doing tryouts, where the tryouts become like one huge song.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I don't know who pieced this together, but I thought it was real. I thought it was just cleverly done, and it sounded awesome. I was like, okay, I might have to go home at 4 a.m. when nobody's looking and look up the song on iTunes because I liked it that much. But I mean, like I said, Anna Kendrick, I know she's an actress that everyone is really looking out for these days. Like I can see like studios like
Or at least looking at him, right?
Oh, by the way, speaking of looking at it, I think she has something in her contract now where she has to show a good part of her cleavage, because I don't know how many times it's once again the titty camera guy. He had the camera focused on her cleavage, and then it would like zoom up to her face. Where I'm like, I like this guy. He's been getting a lot of work.
I don't know about the music, but her tits were always sharp.
Oh yeah. Damn you, Brian.
Never flat.
But I'm starting to grow to really like her. As much as there's moments in the movie where I was annoyed with her, she actually won me over towards the end.
Yeah.
But I mean, wow. I want to give this a really high matinee because, like I said, whenever a movie like this surprises me, I'm actually happy. As I was expecting like the worst time in the theater, and I actually had the best time, especially being in a crowd that was really digging it. You know, there wasn't that many people, but yeah, they were laughing, they were having a good time, and it was infectious. So yeah, full on matinee. By the way, guys, I was a little disappointed that I'm always hoping that, they play this one song that I really love, and I know they didn't do an acapella version, but I don't know if have you guys ever tried to actually do acapella at all?
Hello.
In your life? Hello. We do that every week.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Thank you.
But hey, let me try to start something. Let's see what just happens. Let's just see what happens.
All
Why
right,
not?
all right,
Okay. Ding da da dom dom dom, ding da da dom dom, ding da da dom dom dom, ding da da 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 dom dom, da da dom dom.
We don't know the word.
Ah, you so never mind. All right, fuck you, acapella. Never happening again. All right.
Let's remix this business.
What boring estrogen-filled set have you prepared for us?
Hey, Amy! I was just being shot! You guys are gonna get pitch slapped so hard, your man boobs are gonna concave.
I like the way you work. I have a feeling we should kiss.
I sometimes have a feeling I can do crystal meth, but then I think, better not.